Hello, I didn't see you there. Hey, can I tell you something? I love what I do. Truly. If you already subscribe to the Babylon Bee, thank you. Here's the deal, folks. If not enough people save 20% on their annual subscription at babylonbee.com/plans using the code BRadio, let's just say I'm like a baby seal at Crazy Ernie's Used Car Emporium. So, would you be a pal and sign up today? Thanks.
Factually inaccurate.
Morally correct. This is Babylon Bee Radio. Our top story. Authorities have been dispatched to the White House lawn after reports of a creepy old man shouting to people that he thinks of everyone's kids as his own.
There's no such thing as someone else's child. They're all mine. Not a joke. Give them to me.
He then reached out and tried to grab a passing baby out of his stroller before his mother shrieked and ran away.
Your kids aren't yours. They're all mine. Come on, man, let me smell your kids.
The confused senior was heard shouting at a nearby statue of Andrew Jackson before several aides tackled him and dragged him to safety.
You know, this guy is making a ton of sense,
said Randy Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers.
All kids should belong to the state. To suggest otherwise is white supremacy.
Minutes after Biden's administration announced that the mostly dead president would be running again in 2024, Vice President Harris also announced her campaign to definitely become president at some point over the next 4 to 5 years.
I couldn't be happier to hear of Joe's announcement today, which came as such a surprise to me,
said Harris, cackling loudly in her charming, folksy way.
I, too, would like to make an announcement. I am running to be named the first female president at some point in the near future, within 5 years or so. 5 years tops.
Experts say that since the FBI, media, big tech, and the entire bureaucratic state have ordained the election of Biden in 2024, it is likely just a matter of time before the empty shell of a man they've been using wears out and is replaced by the female empty shell they've been grooming for this position.
We didn't think it was possible for anyone to be more devoid of substance and usable than Joe Biden, but we found a perfect tool in Kamala,
said FBI Director Christopher Wray.
She's perfect.
A president is like a big boss of a country. America is a big country, so I will be a big boss. Boss starts with the letter B. Don't you just love that letter B? I sure do.
At airtime, Hillary Clinton had called in a favor at the Pentagon to see if Harris might become the victim of an unfortunate drone strike. In a testy exchange with an interviewer for Meet the Press, Dr. Anthony Fauci claimed he never locked down schools and hasn't even heard of COVID.
COVID? I've never even heard of such a thing. What is this COVID? That sounds made up,
said the former NIAID director and COVID advisor to the president.
And I certainly had nothing to do with locking down schools and destroying kids' learning and development for over a year. What kind of monster would do something like that? You must have me confused with someone else.
The interviewer then nervously checked his notes to make sure he was indeed talking to Anthony Fauci, the chief architect of U.S. COVID policies.
Yeah, but it says here that...
Shut up! I'll ask the questions here. I am science!
Sources say the doctor denied any involvement in business closures, Wuhan lab cover-ups, or the field of medicine altogether. As part of a plan to broaden its audience, the long-running daytime talk show The View has announced former Fox News host Tucker Carlson will be joining the program's panel. Producers hope Carlson's presence will both draw new viewers and educate current cast members.
Tucker's going to be a great addition. Not only will we reap the benefits of bringing in a more politically conservative audience, but our other co-hosts will benefit from hearing new political perspectives. Win-win.
Early test footage shows Carlson surrounded by laughing women looking perplexed, apparently shocked by a dumb thing Joy Behar said. Though Carlson has quickly become a hot commodity on the media landscape after his shocking departure from Fox News, his new co-panelists expressed mixed feelings about him joining the group.
We don't tolerate any differing opinions on this show,
said longest-tenured panelist Joy Behar.
There's a reason the program is called The View and not The Views. There's only one acceptable view around here. Tucker is a Nazi!
She then screeched loudly and attempted to claw the conservative anchor's eyes out. The program has featured some conservative voices in the past, but analysts believe this time will be far different.
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath for sure. Just wait until Whoopi says something really stupid, and then Tucker has to respond? Psh, can you even imagine his little face just staring at her? You must see TV right there.
Behar, Goldberg, Sonny Hostin, and Anna Navarro were reportedly considering walking out and accusing producers of perpetrating, quote, literal violence, simply by hiring Carlson. Former CNN host Don Lemon has quickly landed on his feet after his sudden firing, as he will now have the opportunity to continue lecturing the American public from his new position as a barista at his local Starbucks.
You certainly do have a lot of gall. You spend 5 minutes waiting in line, then you get up here to order and you don't even know what you want. Can you say privilege? Shame on you, sir. Shame on you.
The Starbucks location manager jumped at the chance to hire Lemon, citing his well-established arrogance and track record of looking down on other people.
He is a natural. The snobby tone in his voice, the condescension. It's all perfect. I didn't care that he didn't have barista experience. He's just gone from lecturing people while they bring him his coffee to lecturing people while he gets them their coffee. It's a perfect fit.
Lemon seemed to settle into the new role quickly.
A white mocha latte, you said. So, you're not even trying to hide the fact that your preference is white. I'm afraid, sir, that your unconscious bias is showing through quite clearly.
Though, according to reports, his first day was progressing well, Lemon was still seen looking wistfully into a mirror and shedding a single tear during his break. The store manager assured Lemon that his job was safe, despite the fact that he was last heard telling a middle-aged female customer if she waited any longer to decide on her order, she would be past her prime.
How dare you!
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is calling on the DOT to address a long-standing inequity by using more gay crash test dummies in their automobile safety tests.
Today's cars and trucks are designed for the safety of straight, white males, but they are murdering members of the LGBTQ+ community by the millions. This must end.
Sources say Buttigieg has ordered several thousand gay dummies to be used in crash tests, as well as female dummies, trans dummies, and dummies of color.
Once we have full representation among our stock of dummies, we will be able to build cars that work for everyone. Yay!
Engineers, meanwhile, have confirmed they're having trouble making anything except male and female dummies, since those are the only two kinds of physical bodies there are. Researchers are unsure how to extract helpful data from the female dummy, however, as after each crash, she simply shrugs her shoulders and says she doesn't know how the crash happened.
Female crash dummies are completely different, and their minds are complex webs of emotions that collect and process trillions of data points per second, so we knew implementing a female crash dummy would be a challenge.
Said GM VP of Safety Craig Duvall.
We know she knows what happened, but she just isn't ready to tell us.
Testers at GM's Proving Grounds, who are used to the simplicity and directness of the male dummies, tried various tactics to get the female dummy to give them any usable data.
So, sweetheart, how was your day?
Ugh, sweetheart? Seriously? Fine. My day was fine. I'm fine.
He knew her day had not been fine, as he had strapped her into a Chevy Volt and sent her careening at 80 miles per hour into a brick wall, totaling the car and leaving her with a crushed arm, cracked skull, and a missing foot. When he attempted to read her sensors, they all said,
fine.
Buttigieg later scrapped the plans to use female dummies, as it is, quote, not yet possible with today's technology, and authorized the male dummies to identify as female dummies in order to speed things up and save $20 million. Local wife Katie Benson called her husband this morning to inform him that the minivan had suffered a, quote, rapid unscheduled disassembly.
You know, a RUD. Yeah, it's very much like an explosion.
According to Mrs. Benson, she was driving home from Lowe's when the tower of Starbucks cups carefully situated in the console finally collapsed, sending coffee flying everywhere.
That's when everything began spinning,
said Mrs. Benson to reporters.
I tried to achieve separation of my foot from the gas pedal, but something went wrong. Next thing you know, kaboom! I'm trying to reassure my husband that we at least succeeded in collecting more data for my next trip to Lowe's.
Though disappointed in how the trip turned out, Mr. Benson said the result was not unexpected. I had placed the odds of her making it without a wreck at about 50-50. She wants to drive all the way to Martin's Cleaners. You gotta start somewhere. We learned a lot today, and we'll be rebuilt and ready for another go in just a few months. At airtime, Mrs. Benson had been contacted by the Department of Transportation with a new job opportunity. B Radio features officially curated content from the Babylon Bee, scripted, voiced, and produced by Austin Robertson. Additional voices in this episode from Bettina, Janae, Jared, and Travis. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to B Radio on YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts.